once again for another interesting tutorial. So today's tutorial will be focusing on the wrap gown. Okay, so you can see the wrap gown slash and spread on the thumbnail. We want to start up to draft it. So right here you can see I have my basic bodice pattern. I've already drafted the neckline and the armhole. But if you look at the bodies, you can see I did not close the bodies because the wrap gown we have there is dartless. So it's a dartless wrap gown. So it's a wrap gown, and I have my full basic bodies because we are going to connect this wrap all the way to the side. So now I have my chest line. I have my I will call it bust point line, but I just made these lines. I'm not actually going to use them because it's dartless and we are going to draft right on it without that. So since it's dartless, from the center front, this is my center front, I'm imputing my waist divide by 4. I have it there as 10 inches. I'll come to the waist. I'm taking my waist divide by 4 and I have it at 9 inches. So now I'm going to connect what I have at that point, as you can see. So since I said it's dartless, I'm not adding any dart allowance. So here I mark my 10 inches and here I mark my 9 inches, and I'm closing up all my bodies. So we'll start up the construction of what we have right there on the thumbnail. So now I'm going to determine how off we want this dress to be. Okay, so we are determining how off. So how off depends on you, but for this particular tutorial I'm using my mid armhole line to determine how off this dress is going to be. Okay, so if you look at that, you can see we have an extension of the sleeve connected directly to the bodies. Okay, so now we want to start up the tutorial immediately. It's a cut together dress, so since it's cut together, we are going to extend the sleeve. The sleeve is going to be extended cut together. So now the first thing I want to determine, I'm going to determine the depth of the neckline. So the depth of the neckline right here, I would want to make my bust point line to help me determine the depth. What I mean is, from the center front I take my bust pan. This is my bust pan measurement, and from the bust pan I call it my bust point. Remember, if you are making a bustier, we usually rotate our bust radius. Like I always say, this bust radius helps in determining how exposed or less exposed you want your dress to be. So I love to create my bust, so I'll be sure of what I'm making and how exposed is actually going to be. So now I am going to come down from the chest line, following the line I have right here. I'm going to come down from there at ½ an inch. So that will be the depth of my wrap dress. So I come down by ½ an inch, and I'm going to place my pattern ruler on the ½ an inch, as you can see, to the what I have on the mid armhole. Can you see? So that is my neckline for this wrap dress, and I'm going to use my under bust to connect the remaining of what I have on the neckline. So I'll keep pushing my ruler right there till I have, or I can come up from the under bust. I'm coming up from my under bust by 1 inch. That is the connection of this. So from here I connect. Can you see that? So like I said, it's dartless. So since it's dartless, we are going to slash and spread to return back those those pleatings you are seeing right there on the thumbnail. So the most important thing for this wrap dress is the extension of the sleeve. So like I said, the sleeve is cut together. So for a cut together sleeve, I come this way and extend, and I'm extending the sleeve outside the dress. So to determine what you have on the cut together, we are going to make use of the measurement of the shoulder. Shoulder divided by 2 will give you 7.5. So before you achieve this, on the mid armhole, you are going to take your tape around your body, just like you do in all shoulders. Okay, you'll be taking your round shoulder measurement. So once round shoulder measurement is taken, for example, on the mid armhole, you take your round measurement like this. So whatever figure you have right there. So I'll be working with 42 inches, for example. My shoulder is 15 inches. So what I'm going to do is to take away 42 from 15. Okay. So if I take away 42 from 15, it will give me, okay, let us come again with this calculation. We have 42, so we set it aside. Shoulder measurement is 15. You remember is round, back and front. That is times 2. We have 30. So for the sleeves, you come with that 42, take away 30, and you have 12. So you'll be dividing 12 by 4, because what we are working here is a quarter. So 12 divided by 4, I have 3 inches. Okay, so whatever calculation you are using, I'll be using 3 inches from this point to this point, and I'm going to connect, okay, my round shoulder. So this is just an assumption. It can also be as big as 3.5 inches. It depends on what your calculation gives you. So because you can see we have at the mid armhole, we went in by 0.575. So if you measure from here at the 3 inches you calculated, I will advise you add 0.575 to it, because this is the actual line of the shoulder. Okay, so taking your tape around, if you are taking your shoulder measurement, we have already eaten into from here. So I'm going to replace what we have from here to here, which is 0.75. After the 3 inches I add, that is 3.75. So from this 3.75, I'm angling I'm going to have 90 degrees right here. That is, you can see I angled my line. So if I put a protractor here, I'll be having 90 degrees at this point. So at this point, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have as the width of my cut together. I'm using 2 inches for the width of my cut together. So since I'm using 2 inches, I'm placing my ruler like this, and I come back with the cut together. I'm going to extend the cut together. Okay, before I extend the cut together line, please remember we are making an off shoulder. So since it's an off shoulder, this curvy line, we are not going to use it again. We are going to recreate our slanted off shoulder. Remember, off shoulders are always slanted. So this is the actual off shoulder line. So now I am free to take what I have here to the width. Okay, so I'm going to allow it touch my armhole. Can you see that? So once it has touched my armhole, this is now what we have, and that is what we are going to have as they cut together. So the sleeves will be attached at this point. Okay, this